Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. I hope everyone had a good day off yesterday. We had Independence Day here in the US, and we took a day off trading, and it was nice to step away from the charts for a moment, but markets are moving, especially post holiday in the US. The day after, things have really just started scooting. We've had lots of central bank intervention over the last several hours, 12 hours or so, and the markets are just going crazy. So the U.S. markets have been kind of all over the place, but overall pretty much in the negative. You can see the Dow closed just about 50 points down, S&P down a bit, oil has gone down a bit. Thankfully, it was nicely in the mid to high 70s and shot up to the high 80s for a little bit there, and it's kind of stabilizing a little bit, and gold has come down quite a bit as well. So lots of things going on. We've seen today so far, interest rates coming out of the UK, those remained unchanged as expected, but the asset purchase program in the UK has gone up a bit from 325 billion to 375 billion. So they added on an additional 50 billion pounds today. They mentioned that, and so that's another kind of big bit of involvement from the Bank of England. And then we followed that up nicely with the interest rate announcement out of the European Union. Went from 1% to 0.75. That was expected. But as far as the press conference went that followed up, the markets were not too excited about that. Draghi didn't have anything too positive to say. He had to kind of keep it semi-light, but it came across a bit bad. So there's more intervention there from the European Union. Not to mention that China has also cut rates, and the markets have just been going crazy ever since. The U.S. has had some pretty good data. This ISM was not great. It came out a little bit worse than expected, but the ADP non-farm report came out at 176 versus 103, and then we had unemployment claims come out about 11,000. Lower than expected, so that's good as well. So anyways, we've seen some decent data out of the U.S., and the stocks continue to kind of flounder a little bit and get lower there, but for the most part, a lot of the news has really been positive in the U.S. Okay, so here's a couple of things to look at. This was our channel for all week. Remember this was from videos, this was from notes. I've posted this a couple of times this week, and our channel here on the euro dollar really ended up breaking and going nicely. This lower part here being this 125 kind of 60s area. Lots of consolidation there, and it finally made a break for it and made a big run down. And you can see that it's run about 200 pips since, and most of it has been in the last several hours, and this was with the interest rate news for the European Union. But now what we've got is we've just broken below the weekly low right here on the euro here. You can see the weekly low of last week. Big, nice, healthy, beautiful double top right here. So I'm loving that, and these are all good opportunities for us to hopefully get in and continue taking these pairs short down into these lows. These lows are coming back into place very nicely. Very, very good double top there, and we're headed into 123 and 122.50 even potentially. Here's what I want to see. I want to see on this slow trickle down. This was all the good news out of Europe, and then it just faded over about a 4-day period until we ended up seeing things tank once again. Here's what I want to see is a little bit of retracement from this high to this low right here. I'd like to see us just get potentially back up into this 38% fib. I'm not asking for a whole lot, but I think we can maybe get there. So a little break back up into this area, which is currently, you can see it's about 90 to 100 pips away depending. And so this area would be great to get filled. If we can fill this, we should be in some pretty good shape of some retracement. And I will definitely look to go short at about 12500, 124, between about 124.80 and 12500 is where I will be getting short like crazy on this euro dollar if we get up there. Now, one little catalyst to get us up there, I like getting back up above this 12400, 124 kind of 10 area. If we get back up above this, this should help motivate that little run up. And our first target is going to be the 23% fib. So that's only about 25 to 30 pips of potential movement there. So we're going to be looking for that. So a little bit of retracement. If we can get this little low to hold in here and get back up above this 12400 area, then I'm going to try to take it into about 124.40 and see if we can get one more push into about 124.80, and then that's the big go short sell kind of area right there. If we don't get that, you can see that if this thing just continues to pull up just a little tiny bit, then what I like is this little very short-term trend line right here. If we get a break of this trend line, just getting back into those lows is 25 pips. This is on the 5-minute chart, so we've got a pretty good little run there. So again, back above 12400. Look, and this is really kind of more the 12400 area. This guy's a little bit further up, but really I'm looking more for that 12400, and I think that's going to be more of an accurate kind of portrayal of what we want to see happen here, because the market has tested that area back there before, and so on, and now you can see on this 5-minute chart that 12400 is really on the very short term holding the market down. So again, break this trend line, run for 25 pips up. Get above 12400. We're looking for about 30 pips into that 30 to 40 pips into that 23% fib. Okay, that's a lot on the euro dollar, but that's kind of what I'm looking for the moment. Pound dollar has trickled down as well. We saw a nice topping out of the pound dollar. Here was our channel, and these are not new. These have been up since about 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And this was our channel right here. In the lower part of the channel ended up breaking nicely. This 156.50 broke very nicely. We had a nice 75 pip run, and then a nice continuation down to ultimately about 150 pips. So our channel held very nicely and broke very nicely as well, and gave some great trading opportunities. But now the pound dollar is sitting down here at 155.00. And this is a pretty tough level. So this 155.00, the market has continued to test and test and test, and is just having a heck of a time down there. So on the short term, what I'd like to see is, a little bit of retracement once again, but really I want to see a break of this 155.00. We break 155.00, I'm going to go short and take the pair down to hopefully 154.50. Is kind of what I'm going to be aiming for on this one, because that's a pretty significant level as well, and we've got some pretty good resistance down here, and some good reasons for the market to start heading that way. So nice double tops, looking to get below 155.00 and trade into 154.50. Dollar yen again, channel from this week, held nicely, broke out nicely. We got some great pips in there. Our trend line broke nicely. Everything just went great, And now it's kind of slowly working its way down. Now we've got this little area. This is about 9900, 9905, and the market is really having a heck of a time with this general area right here. Having a real tough time, getting below that and really making any kind of headway. This has been a very strong level. You can see that again, we had a nice break out of that level, but 9900 has been tested here and here and here and here, and then broke up above and back down, below, and so on, and then right here it's just consolidated once again. So really all I want to see on this euro yen, I'll look for the same kind of a thing, a little short-term retracement right here, and if we can get this back up to about 99.50 or 60, I'll be happy to go short there. Otherwise, I just want to see a nice open below these lows right here on this 1 hour chart. I want to see us open below about 98.95, and if we can get a good break like that, we're in business. And we'll take that thing all day long and write it down to about the 98. Remember, 98.30 and 40 have been good areas in the last several weeks, and so I'm just going to kind of look to target those on the short term. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Last but not least, we made an attempt on this Aussie dollar, and it looked like it was going to give us some love right here, and then it ended up just kind of giving a nice big retracement. We still do have a nice pin bar on the 4 hour chart. This is pretty serious price rejection right here. A very nice ascending trend line and a lot of good things happening. So I still think if we get below somewhere in this was our original level, which was about 102.60, and here's about 102.70. So somewhere between this 102.60, 70 range, I think is going to be our kind of key trigger point. If we get below that, let's play it safe and say 102.60. Let's get an open below 102.60, and I think we're ready to take it down into some of these lower supports here of about 40 pips and then beyond. I think there's some big runs in there, so let's hang on to that and watch for that movement. Likewise, I want to see I want to see the bigger, longer term movement happen here, and start heading its way back down there. So I think we've got some good chances of that. And just a quick look at gold. Gold's kind of been all over the map. It's just choppy as ever, but it's just reacting to the levels nicely. 16, 20, and 30 still holding. Now we're right back down to 1600. Still some nice resistance there. Just the same song and dance that we've seen 50 times before. And so gold is just kind of maintaining itself in this range pretty well. You can, if we zoom out just a little bit, this is 1, 2. Well, the range goes back of this short-term range. It actually goes back to about to about the first part of May is where it goes back to. So we're looking at several weeks of just gold bouncing up and down and up and down and up and down. So gold's not really ready to give us any kind of definitive movement, but it's been reacting very nicely to the levels like 1600, 1585, 1630, all that stuff. So we're going to keep an eye on those. We've got some great setups in the works, and we will be watching things tonight and seeing what kind of setups we can get, as well as in the Asian session. And last but not least, remember we were talking about this one, and I'm prepared to get a buy order set up for the dollar CAD. So we're going to be looking at this one coming up here. So keep an eye on that. We've got non-farm payroll coming out tomorrow. The market should be busy and crazy. Lots of good stuff to look at. So I'll see you guys in the chat, and keep an eye on Twitter as well. Thanks a bunch, everyone.